Donnie and Dolly. The team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
That's what I'm talking about. Sam Spence, all of our guests today, including Ross Tucker, standing by. Sponsored by Basant Motors. The Basant Motors Scholarship is back again this year. Basant is offering $32,000 to 16 deserving students. Get all the details at basantmotors.com/scholarship. Deadline to enter is September 24th. Sunday number 1. The National Football League season is in the books. Monday Night Football tonight. Bills and Jets here to talk about that and more. From the Ross Tucker Football Podcast, CBS Sports and Westwood One. Ross Tucker, how are you, sir?
I am doing awesome. What's up, dude? How are you guys doing?
Very well, very well. You work the Saints and Titans, 17-16 Saints. Your CBS broadcast booth debut. How did it go in your opinion?
It was awesome. Had so much fun. It was just every aspect of it was cool to be a part of, without question. And love the team I'm with. Chris Lewis is an emerging star, I think, as a play-by-play guy. And being with Jason McCourty, I think it's like the perfect booth, right? I mean, he's a defensive player who played on the back end, so he knows all of that stuff at a very high level of expertise. And I like to think I know the offensive line stuff, O-line, D-line stuff. So I think CBS is onto something here. Obviously, that sounds self-serving coming from me, but I think even remove me from the equation, I think having an offensive lineman and a defensive back or some combination of that, maybe it's a wide receiver and a D lineman, right? Whatever. I think that there's a lot of merit to that. It didn't feel like it was our first game together. It was so fun. The environment was awesome. Terrific game, close game. I think our game went long, so I think at the end, maybe the whole country was watching us. I was about to say that everybody should tune in to Donnie and Dolly in Vancouver, but I forgot to. I forgot to tell them to listen to Donnie and Dolly on the team. My bad.
Yeah.
But no, it was awesome. It was a blast.
You don't have to do that, Ross. Our audience is massive.
Yeah.
Hey, you got a lot of reaction. We're going to play this clip right now. You got a lot of reaction for this.
A stack on the top. Hill keeps it himself. The powerful runner, Taysom Hill, out of BYU in his 7th year now with New Orleans.
I'm not kidding when I tell you I think he's one of the best football players ever in Taysom Hill. Wow. Now, I know he's not a Hall of Famer or any of that. This guy can play quarterback, running back, tight end. He makes tackles on special teams. This guy's like Jim Thorpe. I mean, can you name any other guy that's ever done all the things that Taysom Hill did? He's like the perfect football player.
Okay, so that got a lot of reaction. Not all of it positive, Ross. What's your reaction to that reaction?
My reaction, the reaction. No, yeah. Well, listen, as long as people watch the whole clip, I'm totally fine with whatever their reaction is, right? What I don't love is when people just took the first 5 seconds out of it, right? And just cut that part or just tweet, I posted the first 5 seconds. Like, as long as you listen to the whole thing, I'm fine with it. Look, I think he's one of the best pure, like, what are all the things you can do as a football player, right? Like, you can block, you can tackle, you can run, you can catch, you can throw. I mean, I don't know many players, if any, that can do all of those things combined better than Taysom Hill. He's like the decathlon champion of playing football. It's unbelievable. And I didn't mean, and I didn't say, and I even said, I'm not talking like Hall of Fame. I'm not talking like all-time greats like Tom Brady or Lawrence Taylor or Jerry Rice. I said that. I'm not talking about like Hall of Fame, All-Pro, that kind of stuff. I'm talking like pure football player, like pure all around, the essence of the sport. I think he's one of the best ever. And listen, I mean, I'm 44. Mm-hmm. I can't think of another guy since I've been alive that runs with speed, runs with power, can throw, has a gun for an arm, runs down on kickoffs and punts and makes tackles. He's a kick returner. He's 7-2, I think, as a starting quarterback. They split him out wide and throw him fade balls. He can play tight end, running back, fullback, wide receiver. I get where people think, to me, like if you think I was saying he's like Tom Brady or Reggie White, then like you're a moron. Like that's not what I was saying. I think anybody watching or listening to how I explained it would see where I was coming from, which is to say he's like the perfect all-around football player. And I think he's the closest thing to what I've heard about Jim Thorpe. I wasn't alive for Jim Thorpe like you were, Donnie, but
yeah, I knew that was coming.
Jim Thorpe since I've been alive, for sure.
Do you know if he played point guard in high school?
Good, Donnie, good. Very good. No, but somebody tweeted me and said that they're from Pocatello, Idaho, which is where he's from. And I'm not surprised. I guess he played like 8 sports and was like all-state 8 sports or something. But, I mean, all-state Idaho, come on. I mean, at what sport would I not have been all-state Idaho?
All right, Ross, let's talk a little bit about what happened in Seattle. They got booed off the field, 12 yards of total offense in the second half. I don't think many people saw this coming. Did you see it? I mean, Ross, not a great effort, especially in that second half.
No, stunned. Totally stunned. If you got, and this, I'm not saying this because I'm talking with you guys. If you asked me my biggest surprise from week 1 in the NFL, I would say the Rams destroying the Seahawks.
Yeah.
Especially in the second half. Stunned. As soon as Cooper Kupp was placed on IR, as soon as we knew Cooper Kupp wasn't going to play, which for me was a while ago, as soon as he went to see a specialist in Minnesota, I thought the Rams were in major, major trouble. For them to come out there and destroy the Seahawks the way they did, by far the biggest surprising outcome of any of the games for me.
Ross, for the first time in 30 years, a quarterback not named Brett Favre or Aaron Rodgers quarterback a game for the Packers. And Jordan Love, he had a good one there, 3 touchdown passes. Looking at the reaction after the game, the coaches, the GM, the players, everybody happy for this guy. It was a good day for him.
It really was, and I think it's huge. You know, I know it's like only one game, right? But whether it's for the fans or the entire organization or certainly like the players in the locker room, it really is helpful if you start to build up that belief and that confidence. And I'm sure they already saw him in practice and preseason games and already thought he would do well. It's not the same. It's not the same as being out there in a regular season game and playing the way he did. That will just engender and inspire so much confidence moving forward, which I think is really invaluable.
Maybe Dallas, maybe Philadelphia. Was there a team that looked better than San Francisco yesterday, Ross, or as good?
No. I mean, the Cowboys obviously destroyed the Giants, but there was just a lot of what I would call random things that happened in that game, right? Like, you know, the tipped pick six and the blocked field goal for a touchdown. And look, the Cowboys killed them, and the Cowboys have a really good team. But what the Niners did was just go out there and smash the Steelers. Like, there was no like one-off weird fluky plays or random plays that aren't likely to happen on a regular basis. The Niners just dominated the Steelers in every facet of the game.
Ross, I think I've got my numbers right here. We care so much about our neighbors to the south. 22nd anniversary today of 9/11. Again, I think I've got this right. 2001 was your first year of pro football. You're trying to hook up with Washington as somebody who was undrafted. To what degree, given the circumstances, did your job take a back seat at that point?
Well, so, Donnie, I'm surprised we never talked about this, but it probably never timed out that I was on with you guys on September 11th. So 2 wild things about that day. Number one, I had just made the team the week before. And for a week, they let you stay in the hotel. Then you got to get your own place. So that weekend, I got my own apartment. And that Tuesday morning, the cable guy was at my apartment hooking up my cable. And the first tower had just been hit. He hooked up my cable, and the two of us sat on my couch for like 2 hours and watched what was going on. Me and the cable guy. The second part about that, now she was my girlfriend at the time, but my wife, it was her first day of work.
Oh, wow.
She was working in Manhattan, in New York City. I had no idea where she worked. I didn't know if she was midtown or downtown. Well, I found out later she was in the building.
Oh.
She was in the building that morning. Now, she was there for a meeting, and she went across the street.
My God.
But she had been in that building in the morning, and that was rough because I called and called and called, and you just kept getting circuits are busy and couldn't talk to her. And I didn't want to like jump to conclusions, but then you start to get concerned, and had a big impact on our life for a while there for sure.
Well, everybody up here is thinking everybody down there, Ross, on a day like today, 22nd anniversary. Thanks so much for this, my friend.
Of course. Thank you so much for asking that question and for caring, Donnie. Really appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
No problem. Thanks, Ross. Talk to you next week.
All right.